Hey guys, HW here. Come down to Sydney's Balmain today because it's a beautiful sunny day in Sydney. We're just looking down Waterview Street here. I don't know whether you can see right down the bottom there, but there's a part of the harbour down there. Someone's got a bit of a garage sale happening here. As we walk along today, you'll see a lot of nice old Victorian architecture, a lot of old Victorian terraces. This is Darling Street that we're on now, and just while I'm here and I remember as we look across at these two old places over here, the average real estate value in Balmain, it's approximately 2.6 million for a small terrace house, and I think the average price for a unit is around 1.3 million. So let's get across the road here, have a look at some other places. It's like an old vintage shop just here. Called the Front Room. There'll probably be a lot of people out and about today because, again, it's been raining in Sydney non-stop for the past week, and it's the first sunny day. We're just about to pass by the London Hotel, which is a very old famous hotel in Balmain. There's a lot of people out hammering the beers back and eating food. There it is, there's the London Hotel. Many people enjoying their booze and smashing down early lunch. That'll give you an idea of how close we are to the city. You can see the Harbour Bridge in the distance. So in terms of living and working from Balmain, you're certainly close to everything. That's why it's such an expensive area to live now. In the old days it was a real working class suburb. Now it's pretty much populated with professionals. Let's walk up these stairs into this park here so I can get a bit of a view. I think that's called St Andreas Church over there. Now, I was hoping to go to the Balmain markets, which are usually on every second Saturday, which is this Saturday. But when I got here, I found it under construction, and even though Google told me the markets were open, when I got here they weren't. And it turns out they've been closed since March 2020, which takes us back to the start of all the nonsense. So I might continue down the sunny side of the street here. So you are super close to the city in Balmain, so you can catch the bus. That's the main transport option. Otherwise you can walk down the end of the road and get on the ferry, and you can catch a ferry into the city. There you go, that park that we were just in is called Gladstone Park. Now this main road that I'm on, Darling Street, it's a very popular place to come on the weekends because it's just littered with cafes and restaurants and little boutiques to rummage through as well. Love those trucks with their bloody noisy reversing lights. Little bookstore just there. Unity Hall Hotel. Looks like it's seen better days, but still open. So as you can see, plenty of coffee shops. Once I stop filming this little segment, I'm gonna find a coffee shop myself and have my morning nectar. Bag was starting to fall off there. I had to adjust myself. So Darling Street's another one of those big high streets in Sydney. that run on for miles and miles, or K's and K's. So if you're ever in Sydney, I recommend you spend a couple of hours down here. Plenty of things to do and see. I think I've had dinner in that Italian restaurant before. Goes alright. These little courthouse or courtyard cafes and restaurants as well, which is nice. Cheeky little bar here. Have a drink. Looks like you can have some tacos and burritos in there too. Cross over the road here. Start heading back down. And I'll try to film back the other way so I can get the places that I sort of missed when I was coming up. Again, you can see in the background there how close we are to the city. Looking down Darling Street, you can see the Crown Casino Tower. You can see the white Summit building on the right hand side there. That used to be Sydney's only revolving restaurant, and it used to be one of the tallest buildings in Sydney for a while, but it's since been overtaken by Centrepoint Tower, which now is coming into view with the big W on it for Westfield and the gold around its exterior. We should just have a quick skirt down this Phillip Street to give you an idea of what these little Victorian terraces look like. Very similar to Paddington, which I've filmed before, but definitely smaller. Places over here are very much workers' cottages from its history as a working class suburb. So a lot of the people that used to live in these cottages would have been working in the factories that dotted around Sydney, inner suburbs, and also down on the wharfs. So yeah, that'll give you an idea. So a lot of them are semis that are attached. And yeah, look here, as I said before, you're looking at about 2.6 million for these little terraces. Cross over here and film back towards this more traditional terrace house here. Yeah, so there's a more traditional terrace house that you'd find in a lot of other places around Sydney, Paddington, for sure. So as you can see by the street itself, not really designed for modern times. It's quite a tight squeeze for the cars. A lot of them are parked halfway up the gutter like that. And you can see how old this area is just by the way the gutters are are built. They're pretty much sandstone blocks that make the gutter and provide the plumbing for the local streets. Like most of Sydney, they're probably the runoff from these gutters probably runs into the waterway, into the harbour. That's why there's various companies and local councils that have the job of cleaning the rubbish that runs into the harbour. This looks like a delightful little cafe. That's an option for later. This is a really old sort of like I don't know what year that'd be. What would that be, like 1950s, 1960s build, that one? Of course, it's not as old as these Federation cottages that we were looking at before. And some of these houses around here go back even further, go back to the 1800s. There's some of those cafes that we passed by before over there. This shop's all about baskets. 2 baskets. If you want a basket, that's where you go. So another view down one of the side streets. There goes a helicopter in the sky there. I don't know whether you can see that. There's an old school mall over there, the Balmain Mall, long since closed down. Like a groovy little shop that I just flicked in there. That was a well-known actor that I just passed there. He was in a TV show in Australia called Our Country Practice. The cafe bakery passed by, and then a sushi joint. There's a couple of cafes and a bakery. Tell you what, Balmain's full of life. Might have to get back down here more regularly. Oh, look at this cool little bakery van. That's awesome. Citron. It's a pub called the Little Mermaid. Oh no, Little Emerald, sorry. My eyesight's getting so bad, I'm guessing words before I'm reading them. It's called Little Emerald is the restaurant inside it. The actual pub is called the Cricketer's Arms. A cafe bakery. Another bookstore. That's like the second or third bookstore I've seen. It's good to see. It's a cool old door. Obviously Chinese, vintage Chinese door. Bunch of restaurants along this strip here that are either going to open for lunch or just get ready to open up tonight for dinner. This whole area just here. It's a taco joint Vietnamese restaurant and Japanese restaurant here as well. So here was one of the places that I was hoping to come to today, the St. Andreas Church. This is where they usually hold what's called the Balmain markets. But under construction. Maybe it had nothing to do with the other period of chaos that we've been through. Maybe it had to do with it just needed some renovations to stay safe. I don't know. Anyway, I might get ready to wrap up this part of the film here, and in case I don't film a bit later, I'll say goodbye to you now. So like, comment, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the little skirt around Balmain. So we look down Darling Street again, and we see the London hotel that we passed by before and the city in the background. So yeah, over and out from HW. The video is over.